Big Sky howdy, and welcome back to another episode of World Bigfoot Radio. Coming to you from Montana, and also coming to you from over in Ohio. We have returning guest with us, and I thought I'd bring him on and show what he's been up to, poking around on the weekends. You know, some guys got to make a big old deal out of going out in the woods and doing some Bigfoot research, and they spend weeks hyping it up and come back and, well, where's the pictures? Where's the video? Where's the evidence? Well, while they were doing that, this guy decided to take a couple breaks one weekend and then take a break the next weekend and go out by himself without a ton of fancy gear and see what he could find. So let's bring him on and see what he found. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Jerry Cline.
And pick you up a patriotic Gugwee t-shirt that Duke will provide for you.
Yeah, there's nothing more patriotic. Nothing says I want something to eat your face like having a Gugwee shirt. So there you go.
Yeah, thanks for the shirt, by the way. I'm wearing.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I've got I don't know if you can see it on camera here, but I got my old sweater on.
No, I can't because my phone is kind of tipped back too, and
it says Lord of the Kegs Return to the Duke on it. It was from an old camp out party that we had years ago. We were doing the Lord of the Rings was just coming out, so we were doing Lord of the Rings designs every year for 3 years. And I got to be the last one. I was in charge of that camp out, so it was Return of the Duke instead of Return of the King. Anyway, one of my favorite old sweaters. So let's get everybody up to date now. Here, weekend before last, I think it was, you went out and decided to take a break from what you were working on and spent a few hours out in the field and found some interesting stuff. And then this last weekend, you did the same thing again. So let's get everybody up to speed on what's been happening with you.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things on the table here. Being busy is what they call it. Work-wise at work, and then I've been doing side jobs, changing tires on semis and stuff, and I had a new compressor put together for me, and so one day I had to get parts, and I said, what the heck, I'll run out there to one of my research areas after I got my parts, and you know, I didn't fly out there. I drove the speed limit, but
You didn't literally have like a gyrocopter or anything. You had to actually drive there, and you did the speed limit. Let's get that.
Yeah, we had a hard rain like 3 or 4 days before that weekend come up. I thought, man, it'd be a good time to get out and look for tracks. Now, the previous video to the one me and you are talking about right now is when it was snowing out almost a month and a half ago, near 2 months, pretty close to 2 months, is when I found those other tracks. But if you want to make another show of that, we could talk about that track.
Yeah, I can just throw it in here right now.
My phone screwed up on me when I was holding it sideways because I was filming with it. And I was actually, I had went down there to Mohawk Dam to go fishing off the spillway for Saw Guy and come across all these tracks. And I said, these ain't human tracks. They're too big. I wouldn't sink them as deep as what these tracks were. If there was a human, it was a 400-pound or more guy with a heart condition that walked over a mile span of tracks.
Yeah, I was looking at those, and it's too bad that you didn't get there when they were a little bit fresher, but that does not look like a human made them. They're way too big and deep. You know, it's too bad you couldn't make out toe impressions on any of them, but I'd lean heavily toward those are probably the Sasquatch tracks.
Well, before we get on to the tracks that I found down at the river, these tracks that was in the snow at Mohawk Dam. Yes, now I'm giving my areas out because for the fact of the reason, people go down there and they say, well, we don't, it's so desolate down there. We don't know where to go. It's like, okay, if you don't know where, I'm not, and I'm not going to go out and charge and charge people money and start taking, it's not a tourist place, put it that way.
Well, I do the same thing here. It's like, okay, I filmed this in Patty Canyon. You can go to Patty Canyon and try and find the spot. It's only 35,000 acres. Good luck.
Yeah. And my videos, I'm sure people could find them pretty easy. The thing of it is, nobody wants to do the research that I do extensively here. They want to go in and say, well, there's nothing here. This ain't right. But anyhow, back to the snow tracks that I found below Mohawk Dam Spillway. They went down, all the way down, down to the river, followed the edge of the river on ice, which the ice was pretty good thick on the edges, that you could see the tracks, but I didn't see where they come up at. I followed back around my own, up a dike, what they call dike. It's to keep the water from coming up over it when they flood too high. Yeah, I come back to the dike, got in the truck, and I said, well, I almost had a flat on my pickup truck, plus I was hungry. And I had to go to the next town, which is like 10 miles away, the closest town, and get some fixed flat for my pickup truck. Blah, blah, blah. I drove out of there, got down the road, and I found the tracks coming back up. They crossed the road, come back down the ditch line, and then went right back up towards the back side of this side of the dam that I was on to begin with, but went straight up, and some of them, the snow drifts was going over them. But you could still see the trackway. They went way back up in there. You're talking that on that weekend I was out there, it was, the wind chill was 20 below zero.
Oh God.
And the actual temperature was at 19 degrees. And even the days before that, of the snow we had, those tracks wasn't a week old. They wasn't 5 days old. They're probably about 3 days old at the most, because the wind had been blowing, everything crusted over. But
I would have guessed about 3 days too. I think you're probably right on that one. That's what they look like.
I still got pictures of the dam, the spillway froze over. And I've never seen a dam spillway freeze over. The other side was completely froze over clear up the river part of it. And I was like, now who's out here in this kind of weather, trekking around that far? It's just a fishing pull-off spot there. That's it.
Yeah, the other thing, he was walking away from civilization, walking away from the parking lot, walking away from where the roads were, going further out into the middle of nowhere. Where the hell was this guy? If this is a human, what the hell was he up to and where was he going?
Started to get in the truck. And I noticed these tracks coming up from this direction here. Let's follow them, but they're a lot deeper than my boots are. See how ain't as deep? So something awful heavy had to walk up through here. Follow them. Oh yeah, I'm sinking now. That could have been a person, boots on. Just snow melt too, makes things look bigger than they are. Those tracks look awfully big, guys. I mean, there's my foot. And look at the size of the hole of that. But the stride is awful short. But they're almost inline steps. They're all in line. Look at those three there going down. They're all inline steps. I got the black truck with me today. My other truck ain't four-wheel drive. Yeah, somebody make a step here and one over that. That's an awful long stride right there. I've been tracking for a long time, guys. Tracked deer, tracked everything. And I've even helped out, you know, with looking for missing people too. And I gotta show you this. Dr. Jeff Meldrum mentioned this one time when he's looking at the Paul Freeman footprints. He kept noticing it was inline step, but the left foot would turn off like this, okay? And then that one step turned off again. But what he was figuring on is when a Bigfoot can't turn its neck, it's got to turn its whole body. And when it turns its whole body, it shifts its foot out like that to look to the left side of it. And that's what these ones here are doing. That one's turned out, that one's turned out, and then they're in line again. Jeez. And there's no steps coming back through here. None whatsoever. These are leading out away from over there where the truck's parked. And they come up from the dam, or not the dam, but the spillway side. And then they're still going out this direction, out towards the woods. And hunting season over here is gone. It's done. And still going. Still going. They turn and go down to the river right there. This is wearing me out. And I don't see no tracks coming back up out of here. None whatsoever. Yeah, we're still rolling on there too on the phone. All right. Let's see where this thing went down to the river. No way. Walked down there and is walking the edge of the ice. These tracks are, I don't know, probably a week old. They turn and go back. No, they go that way too. Looks like turned, stopped right here. And the tracks are still going down there along the river bank. But they're not coming back out. Out. Yeah, it stepped over all that tree stump and everything right there. It's still walking down through there. Holy cow. I can't see a person wanting to do that because that's ice over top of a river right there. You ain't catching me do that. Well, I'm going to track back. Okay, here's a footstep. Let me get on with this. I went to Warsaw, got air for my tire, and got some fixed flat put in it. But I noticed these tracks when I left here earlier. I was up on the dam, and I drove by here and seen these, and I thought, why is there tracks going up in here? It don't go nowhere. But if you look, the snow's blowed over them, but there's a trailway going way back up in there. I mean, I could see it topping over that little hump way over there. But this near now stride on this looks a lot better. I got a definitive track here from this one to that one there. And the stride on this, on that footprint there, is every bit of me stepping that. But it's like it got down in there, was changing its mind or something. And then there's another set going back up in here. There's a set coming down. See, these are the ones coming down. And then there's another set. These ones here are mine. The other set are right over here going back up in there. These here's got the same stride length to them. There's that one. And I'm stretched out again to that one. Stretched out again to that one. Stretched out again to that one. You see the footprint there beside the impression right there? Oh! But the snow has drifted over these tracks, but you can still see the trailway going up through there. And it goes a long freaking way. Long ways. Yeah, I'm not going to follow them, guys. This snow's deep. And you're busting through crust every time you walk. Wouldn't be bad if you had snowshoes, but I'm not going to follow that. And this one here's got a curve of the toes in it. Oh! But Blaine Tyler, I know he's done a lot of this. He lives in Canada. And he says, dig out the print. Well, I left my gloves in the truck. I know, it's just another excuse. This in here, see, it looks like toes coming at an angle right there. Scrape that print out a little bit. Yeah, they're old because they're froze over. That's definitely a barefooted print, though. I'm talking barefooted. The toe impressions are right in there. Whew. And that's not a small foot neither. My heel's to the heel of that one. Oh, so they're active down here right now. This might have been a nighttime crossing for them right here too. Or the tracks that I picked up on over there that I did the video on earlier could have been from this one here. Walked down here and walked down that lane and walked all the way back down there to the river. But they're going back up in there too, that direction. And I could see the trail going way over there along that rock wall. I'm going to say heck with it, guys. I'm going to finish out the day go hit my research areas. See if I can see any prints out there or any new structures or anything. Hell, I'm in the area, might as well. Talk to you guys later, Squawk.
Yeah. There was a set of prints that was on the other side of the road that turned back, but then it turned back around and it went straight back up out of there. Out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's no houses around it, no nothing. There's one farm down the road, and it's a woman, her husband's deceased, and she's not that old. She is the only one there, and she don't allow nobody. She actually walks her perimeter in orange during deer season. She don't want nobody hunting down there. She's the only closest one around there. Other than that, I can't see why. I just can't see why somebody in frigid temperatures, our deer seasons and everything was over with at that point. It was done and over with.
Well, the one thing that kind of throws me is, you know, even if it was like okay, I'm going to go for a long nature walk or something. Why would you do it in the worst frickin' weather of the entire year? That doesn't make very much sense.
No. And the way they've got that cut out from around that dam, it's just all high wall on each side.
Mm.
One patch timber in the center over here by the dam that was directly to my left. That's it. But if you was to follow those tracks around to about a half a mile to the other tracks that I found in the mud on the riverbank, to the pictures me and you are going to talk about, there's a swamp back up in there, is where I got the howls at that Sephi Cyrus did. She went, and you can go to her site there on YouTube, Sephi Cyrus, and she's got the spectrograph where she's brought up all these different animals, wolves, coy wolves, coyotes, all these. None of these howls match. That is the area, right in that area. That swamp, I walked back up in there a quarter of a mile through mosquito infested, tick, leech. I kid you not. And it was nasty. I walked back up around there. So if you'd have walked back up around, would have been where the snowy footprints would have met at the edge of that high wall where that swamp begins. Okay.
Mm.
That's where I took the recording at that one summer, which was in 2015, I think it was, after the attack on my cargo trailer. 2015 is when I got them howls, I believe it was, because the attack was in 2014. And
down here is where I just come from. Way down there. I walked this whole, it's made like a dike. I walked that whole dike. Trying to get around. Hey, you can't see because it's curving that way. But I walked that whole dike from where the truck is. It's way down there. Where the truck was, or sitting, where I was. And I walked all the way back down through here. I want to show you guys all this back in here. I don't even know if I filmed this area or not. But anyhow, see, it's all swampy down in here. It's full of water. It's just nasty. I believe it was this tree right here. I think it's right there. I put an audio recorder on that tree's limb coming off here. And this is where I got the audio recording of that howl. Now, Sephi Cyrus has got it on her page on YouTube. You can go there and check it out. It's not a coyote, and it's not a wolf, and it's not a coy wolf. Those tracks led right back through there. See that green area? I can't view, the sun's right on my viewfinder again. There's a green area right there. Them tracks led right up to this woods right here.
to this day, we can't figure out. They've been sent off. There's people actually regurgitated them, the actual howl on their pages and everything. I'm going, yeah, I recognize that howl. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you want to use it, you know. As you and me was talking earlier about somebody else using other people's,
Content. Yeah.
content, you know, taking their pictures and their coattails and their shirt skirts and, you know, blah, blah, blah. There you go. I've never had to do any of that. I just get out and put boots on the freaking ground. It's plain and simple. That's all you
Exactly.
got to do.
So
Get out of
getting
that.
back to it now, a couple months ago, you're following these tracks through the snow, and they're going toward this swamp area. And now here you are 2 weeks ago, way over on the other side of the swamp area, on this floodplain. And this was again, you were actually working on stuff at home, and you just went, I'm sick of this crap. I want to go look around. It just rained a couple days ago. Let's see what's out there.
Yeah, I had to get out and get a gauge and an air filter for my air compressor. I said, what the hell? I'll drive on out there. It's 20 miles from here. And I was like, yeah, what the heck? You know, we got that rain, you know. So I got out of the truck and trekked back through there along down the river there. And I found my first track as soon as I come around, because there's a swamp to the left I researched too, across the road from this research area, which is research area 1 or 2. 2 over here, 1 here, and 3 up the road. This area here, that is the back side of that, and that swamp is where I got the house. Okay, we've done been that. I walked down through there along that little drain-off stream that comes off of the swamp to my left. It's a drain-off stream that drains down into the river. And I seen that first track. If you go back and watch the video, one track there, and I said, now that's a footprint. But I don't know, it was probably 5 days or better old, you know, of the rains that we had, the spring rains.
Right. So this was laid down before the rain came down and ruined it.
I said, there's got to be more of these tracks, you know. Just I only found the one, and then I figured, you know, where it's got to be one track way. Well, as I got up in there and got looking around, and I'm finding another track, and then I'm finding a junior or a daughter, you know. I couldn't tell you the sex of. I wasn't there. I don't have pictures. So anyhow. I get down through there, and all of a sudden, you know, they just open up every freaking way. I mean, everywhere. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And it got to where you could see the full impression, just about to where it looked like mud had just stuck to the bottom of their feet, and then was just re-pulling mud back up. Now, when I had got there, it was all starting to dry back over again. So I wasn't having that much mud stick to the bottom. I got cleated boots. I had them on, logging boots.
Yeah.
And my work boots.
That's that kind of gumbo mud stuff. It's just like glue when it gets wet. It just sticks on everything.
Right, yeah. And it's a lot of sediment that comes up over that river when it floods over. And it's actually a good footprint catch. Yeah, seriously. So anyhow, I go from there and I get to the back point of that parcel there that I'm in, and it's littered with footprints, and you could see fingerprints where they was not fingerprint prints, but the scraping from their fingers down and pulling back leaves. And you know, when we was younger, if we didn't have night crawlers, we wanted to go fishing bad enough, we'd go to the riverbank, pull back leaves like that, and get the leaf worm. What they call leaf worm is a little red worm, about that big. It was a type of night crawler, but they're littler. The fish love them, panfish. Anyhow, that's what it looked like they was digging for, because these was piles of leaves that had been raked back. But if I was to take my fingers and go like that, it was nowhere near the size of the finger drags that I was finding there.
Right.
I got down here, this is one of my old research areas. What I used to call Site 1. After we got all that rain last week, or beginning of this week really, I wanted to come down here and look for footprints because this is a travel area right all up and down through here along this river. And I used to set audio recorders up down here. And anybody that's new to the channel ain't gonna know this, but the ones that watched my stuff before I took it down, back over in there is a swamp. I followed this river all the way around and back over in there, and I put up an audio recorder back in there. That's where I got the howls at. Those eerie howls. Now you can go to Sephi Cyrus on YouTube. Check her out. She's got the video. Of my audio recorder howls on her channel. Here's a footprint, but it's a small one. It's actually got toes in it. Toe marks. Here's a track right here. A little bit bigger one. But all this fluff, I can't see where they went off to. And isn't that weird how you can find them in one spot and they're just gone? But not like the track where I got this last month over there at the dam that's behind me here. There's a track right here. There. It's a bigger one. Oh, right there's another one too, right there. Put my heel where that one is. I'm trying not to shade this, guys. Right up here's the front part of the foot, and this is the back. Trying not to shade it out. Let's do this. Here's the front of the foot right here, my heel, right there. Goes up, clear all the way up to there and back down. It's a pretty good sized footprint. I didn't bring tape measure with me because here's a print here too. I didn't bring this is a spur of the minute thing. I wanted to get out and do it, but I've been working on my air compressor and I had to go get some paint. And it seems they're walking along here. Now over here on one of these trees, I can't remember, it's been so long. Tree may not even be here, it may be gone. I had a jar of peanut butter on the ground with the lid loose on it. I come back and they had took a root ball that fit around the tree just perfect. Now that I got the roots coming off of them, they jammed it in there like that, the root ball around a smaller tree than this, Then they stuck that jar of peanut butter up in there and was dipping their fingers out of it. I never did find a lid to it. Small print again, two of them. One right here and one right there. Can't see it again. This one's got toes up in it. One there and one right there. That's my, no, that ain't my track. I missed that one. So we got this little guy right here. Got that little guy. Right there's another print. Here's another one. I thought this was for me, but it's not. This is a bigger print. Right there. Comes way up back up there. Right down there. I'll be dipped. Got a family group in here again, back out here. There's another print right here. They're older. These ones are older. The ones up front there was fresher. That's a print. See, it's going that direction now because the toes are up in here. And the heel's right back here. There's another older print right here. One right here. Here's Junior again. Right there. Can you see it? I'm still shading it out. Right there, it's Junior. That's what I like to see. I like to see stuff like this. So that means they're back in the area. I was down here, but I didn't put it on YouTube. Down here last month when this is all snowed over. Looked for tracks and there was no tracks at all. But we got a ton of rain earlier this week. And it's starting to dry out as you can see, but it's left the prints behind, which is good. I like finding prints. Here's one that's stuck in the ground. And it didn't come from this tree. As you can see, there's no breaks up there. Nothing's come off of it. Another track right here. Toes up in there. Wide. God, look how wide that is. It's a nice print. Comes up around like that. On up into there. Bet that's Mama, because that bigger one I found was probably the daddy. And they're walking Junior around out here. Deer tracks right there. See them? More deer tracks. They're following their dinner. So they was walking up along the side here, instead of right out and over in there. But I'm going to come back and go back through there and check that out. We got a print here. Starts back here, goes up. There's Daddy right there. It's a big print. Toes are clear up here. Got another print right here. Mommy right there, coming all the way back there. And Junior's footprint should be in here somewhere too. Unless he's being carried. There's Junior right there. Toes are right there. There's Junior's print. Another Junior print. I seen this over here. I want to come over and take a look at this. Something been digging around in there. That could be Mommy's print. No, it ain't big enough. It's a little bit bigger than Junior, but it is a print. There's a right big toe print right there. Oh, check this out, guys.
Ooh, a piece of candy. 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 Ooh, a piece of candy.
Looky here. Ooh, yeah. That's what I was wanting to look at. We got multiple prints, guys. Got them here. Got them there. Here. Here's Daddy. Right here. Look at here. Another one, big one. Wow, they was walking around all over in here. Another print, another print, another print, another print. Nope, I can't do it with my phone or else it'll stick. Another print, that way, stand 1 foot's that way and 1 foot's that way. Wow, look at all the prints in here. Print. Look at this. This is awesome. Another one. Look how the toes are coming into angle. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is totally awesome. I might come back tomorrow with some casting powder. Do some casts. Another print right here. Toes at an angle. It's a right foot. Right here. Looks like he was digging around a little bit too, but Junior's print. There's a smaller print about the size I seen earlier. There's probably 2 juveniles. and 2 adults. 2 juveniles, 2 adults. Awesome, man. This is awesome. Another print. I can't believe all the prints in here. First time I ever hit the jackpot of prints like this. Oh my gosh. I cannot freaking believe it. One stepped right over here. Stepped there. Now, as you guys can see, I'm just going to make one point right here, right now. Okay. Somebody could say a hog was wallering up here. And it may look like prints. Or deer. I got one question for the person that's going to ask that question. Where are the hoof prints? Way back over there, I found some deer prints. There's no prints here. These are the only prints right here. The only print. My boot is not even making an impression here. I barely made an impression right there. See it? There's no deer tracks here. There's no hog tracks. Only Bigfoot activity. That's it. But why did they come here? Unless they swam across the river. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm not seeing any prints over here. None. Oh, look here. Some prints here where I started to go down and look like they turned back around. Print there, print there, print over there. There's no little critter prints here. Like coons, squirrels, nothing. And these tracks ain't that old. I mean, they're 2 or 3 days, maybe at the most.
So I had went back that following Sunday to record the, you know, the size length, you know, and compare them. And I wanted to make sure them smaller prints was equally the same size instead of one print here or that print there. I want to make, what I was really looking for, that this was a family unit that was out here.
Mm-hmm.
And this told me that there was a family unit. I had tracks 7 inches that was all over the place of Junior or little sister or whatever. 7-inch tracks. Then I got it was a 14-inch track, could have been Mama. And then I got the bigger 17-inch track, I believe it was, that I got. But it was much wider. I think it was, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, the width of it. May have been pretty close to 11 inches, I think. 10 or 11 inches wide. No. I think it was 9 inches. I'm sorry, 9 inches wide. I haven't watched that video since I put it up. I've only went to the comments, make sure everything's going cool.
How many different individuals were you finding tracks from there?
I found, the way I took it as the tracks as I followed them, is that I found just a mother, male, female, mother, father, and a juvenile.
Okay.
But there was a couple sets of tracks that was a little bit bigger than the 7 inches. That's kind of threw me off. Like there was even another juvenile there, but was staying closer to the bigger ones and maybe stepping in their tracks to where you couldn't see them because, like I said, you got to a point where you could see the track, but the mud was sticking to the bottom of their feet.
Yeah.
It's just clay layer, just a clay layer of sediment there.
That was hilarious when you turned this video out because right away my phone started getting blown up by all the other researchers I know going, "Did you see Jerry's video yet? Did you see Jerry's video yet?" And of course I'm like, "No, I didn't get a chance yet. What happened? Oh, he found a bunch of tracks. Have you ever seen that part on had James Woods on there and they're trying to trap him and they're leaving a trail of candy and he goes, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah, this is the same thing, except it was a guy with a camera in one hand and a tape measure in the other going, ooh, another track. Ooh, another track."
Yeah.
You found a hell of a lot of tracks. As a matter of fact, you actually kind of like, didn't you run out of SD card or something?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that next day, Sunday, I went out and I said, well, I want to go down the whole riverbank down through here and keep following these tracks. They kept going. They kept going. So I got down there and they're right off the riverbank edge. And it's a sharp drop down to the river there. And just as I start to follow Junior, as I was calling him, Junior, going down this side here, because there's a little swale. You could tell where the water had cut it out. And then the elders had went up this direction. In that little swale, I was starting to follow his tracks again. And yep, and I run out of dad on there. I was like,
Everybody's worst nightmare. You find so much evidence that you run out of storage space on your camera to have it on there. That like never happens, but it's every researcher's worst nightmare. So congratulations, Jerry. You're one of the few that's experienced that. Well, I know I have so much evidence that I can't contain all of it on my SD card.
and what's funny is one of the viewers on subscribers on my YouTube channel, he just popped out because I was going, I'm not counting these tracks, guys, but I think this is from the same individual just moving around, as I explained that through my video. And then his comment the next day when I watched it, he said, I counted 91 footprints that you found on there. 91. I was like, holy cow.
Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Well, I'm back out here, guys. And I come in from right here, down here, and then I go up there's where the other prints are at that I found yesterday. But I got down here and got to looking, and this is all messed up here. This is done last night. This is all fresh. There's an impact mark right there, like a foot. Stepped there and mashed the ground down. Because I'm walking on this right now and I'm not sinking in or anything. It was digging around in here. Not seeing the footprints down in here though. It's a footprint right there. Sure is. Print there. Yeah, it's Sunday morning, right around 8:30 in the morning. Measure this one out. So add these, going in an angle like that, toes went up underneath that. So a pair would be 13-inch print. Sorry about that, guys. I wandered off of here. There's a 13-inch print there. Here's some smaller prints. Here's a smaller one. That one is about 7 inches. Ooh, here's one that's got the toes in it. See the toe prints? There's your big toe right here. Next toe, toe, toes. See how long this one is. That one's 13 inches right there. 13. Right tip of the toes to the heel. Draw us out. 13. This is fresh. This has all been dug up last night. So, another print right there. See what size this one is. And that's going back that direction now. That one there is, I'd say 10 inches. 10 inches. Let's go see if I can find the other ones, and hopefully I'm going to walk this all the way back down through here where it's been washed up from the latest floods. So come back up here and look for those other prints again I found yesterday. Okay, here's a big one right here. This is that one I was talking about was wide. Okay, these are the toes right here. Let you guys get a scaled view here. Up in here's the toes. Get rid of that. There's that one print I measured with my hand across. That one is 16 inches. See it? 16 inches. Why did I measure how wide it is to toes? Yeah, you can see where the toes are up in here. 8 inches across. That's the toes. See what it is at the heel. 7 inches at the heel. Track right here. Junior again. 7 inches. Did you guys get that on there? 7 inches. Junior right there. 7 inches. Print right here. Oh, that's 9. Like I said, there could be 2 juveniles in here, or it could be the female. These tracks are deteriorating pretty quick. Here's one of these deep ones, guys. Look, you can actually see the big toe in there, right there. See the big toe in there? Right there. Okay, this is probably mama right here. It's at 1 foot, 12 inches right there. From big toe to the heel, 12 inches. Right there. Another print right here. This is the front of the toes, right in here to the heel. That one is 16 inches. So that's daddy. Okay. Another print. Here's the toes, the heel. 16 inches right there. Another one right here. That one is, well, you got all this leaf fluff in the way here. 14 inches, which could vary in slippage and mud. I don't know. I'm trying to make them as short back as I can, as shorter as I can. Here's another junior print. It looks like he just stepped down in with his toes, because it's going to 6 inches instead of 7. So that's what could have happened there. There's one, it's 9. Toes to heel. Okay, this one here is 16, right there. I just documented this, took pictures. That's Junior again. That's his footprint right there. You can actually see the toes up in there. And it's exactly 7 inches. All right, I've documented all I could over there, took pictures for scale and everything. Let's move on down this way. Here's another footprint right here. That's a good one. Probably the same family group. 11 inches, that's Mama right there. Yeah, 11. I bet they was looking for leaf worms in here. All it's sealed over top, all these leaves in here, bound to be full of leaf worms. Got another print right here. All right, guys, start counting. We're in a different section now again. This one here's the white-footed one, wide-footed one. That one is 12 inches and 8 inches wide. Same as what we got way over there. Looks identical. Same identical print. All right. God, it's a beautiful day today. What did I tell you? 7 inches right there is Junior. Right there. 7 inches. Right on the dot. Well, we're following the juveniles. Oh, here's another print right here. I'd say they've got this mud stuck all to the bottom of their feet. And, nope, it's going to be a little bit longer than that. Okay, there we go. Say 14 inches on that one. And the width, the toes is right around 7 to 8 inches. Another print right there. That's a nice conformed print right there. That one is 12 inches. 6 inches wide. You can actually see fingerprints in here where they're digging around with their fingers or a stick. See how it's raked back? And that's awful wide. See it there and there and there. We're going to be running out of the silty stuff here before too long, guys, because it goes back into that brushy stuff that can get underwater. But we can still keep going that way.
About that time, I was out in diabetic shock, you know, from eating so much pieces of candy.
Yeah, right on. So you successfully having spent an afternoon of finding ridiculous amounts of tracks and everything, you went back home and posted that, and then you had a week of work, and then the following weekend, the weather was decent for a little while, and you decided, hey, I need to go fishing because I'm sick and tired of working on mechanical stuff, and I need to actually like have some fun time. I'm gonna go down to the river and go fishing.
Yeah. Well, the day before I went, well, I did go fishing that day. Things just didn't go right. Things didn't go right that last weekend at all, hardly.
Except for one thing.
I mean, yeah. Well, the river changes from year to year, and your good fishing spots get piled in with logs, snags, and this, and that, and the other. I had the dog with me Saturday. He's going nuts. Done rolled on a dead coon carcass, and I was like, "Oh God, I got to take."
Reeky.
Yeah. So anyhow, I went down by our campground down there where people go down there with their dredges. Well, nobody's been down there. Actually, I was down there filming that before our gold claim opened up on our lease. So I went down there and I found 3 big tracks and then 2 shorter ones that was probably about the size of my foot, but a little wider. But they had been weathered, okay? But the tracks was immense. There was 3 tracks on that gravel bar where it silted over from water coming up, going down. We haven't had no big flooding down here this year. But there was 3 tracks there. I couldn't tell if they was coming from the riverbank and then walking down the water, coming out of the water and going up the riverbank. But there was no markings on the sidewall of the riverbank, just down on the gravel bar. And then the next day after that, that following Sunday, Bug stayed home because he got a fresh bath, if you know what I mean. And
He knows what you mean.
yeah. So I went back down there. This was last Sunday, and I had been there probably a good 3 hours, and I got there at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning, and I kept looking around, looking at the same scenery. Everything was the same. And I was fishing with lure. Plus, I had chicken liver on the bottom. Got snagged a couple times, but I got my hook back. And then I was fishing, you know, a little bit up from there. I still didn't see nothing. I've been looking around. I just take my time. When you're fishing, you're in tune. You're in tune with your surroundings. You're in tune with every crack, pop, and you know, a squirrel jumping out of a tree, or you know, jumping to another tree, or hawks flying overhead, eagles. You're aware of that. You're tuned in to your surroundings there, totally. And there was no rushing water. It's nice and calm. You could have threw a bobber in there with a worm on it and watched it go by, and it took an hour for it to go by, you know. So I got my hook snagged, my catfish hook snagged, broke the line. I had to break it.
Oh, damn it.
And I'm sitting there, and off to my right, my peripheral vision, I seen something to my right walking. Well, I thought, well, I wonder who in the hell that is. And it was across the river. So that's another piece of property, farmland. But it's at the edge of the woods where I've had all my activity at. And I've never gotten activity this early in the season. Finding tracks like I have, especially a juvenile walking up there and then sitting down watching me. I've never had them in here that early before. Never. With no cover, no leaves, no foliage, no nothing. So I just sat there and was tying my line, and I just kept peeking my eyes over there and watched him just walk right over there. Actually put his hand right on it. There was a big tree right there, but he kind of shoved himself back and plopped right down. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
That was my reaction too. When I saw the video, I was like, this sucker's hardly even making any attempt to hide himself. Barely any, you know. He's practically sitting out in the frickin' open watching you.
So I'm sitting there and I got my eyes to what I am doing. But I had sunglasses on. So I could sit and watch him, but he couldn't see my eyes seeing what he was doing. So I pulled the phone out real slow and I just put it down there to me. And as you watch where I start the video, I'm sitting there in front of my tackle box. I got aimed right at the tackle box, you know, was telling about explaining tying my hook. And I said, I heard and saw something to my right. And this is what I found. And there he was right there. Now I had a newly limb because we had storms last week that rolled through here. So that limb was laying there and I couldn't get a good view, but I didn't want to just stand up and go, hey, come on, let me get your picture.
Yeah.
Come on.
In about a quarter second, he'd be behind a tree and you'd be getting nothing. The other problem you had the damn, you had the sun behind you, didn't you? So you couldn't even really see what the hell you were trying to film.
On screen to see if I was even filming him. I couldn't see that. It was like, gosh, damn it, you know?
There's got to be something whenever there's a frickin' Sasquatch there. You got to have some technical problem. Your horse throws you and you have to run with your camera, or there's a damn branch in the way and you can't see the screen or something.
Anybody's got to, you know, could draw that up. I guarantee you ain't draw it up and say, what the hell, you know? And off my phone to where he was at, literally looks like it's so far away, even though I drew it up to capacity, which phones suck. You cannot.
I'm not even going to lecture you because you know you've heard it before, but yeah, I agree.
But he was drawn up to capacity. But, you know, when I got home and I was rewatching this, I said, at first I was thinking, I probably ain't going to post this, you know. I'll be pitchforked and fire flamed and burned steak over it. And after I watched it and I could actually see it pretty good on my phone, I said, it's going up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple spots where you got them pretty damn good and you can actually see them move. So whatever it is, it's, you know, it is definitely a living animate object.
I'm out here fishing and I got my hook snagged here a little bit ago. And I was tying this hook on and getting ready to put some more lever on there and chuck it out. And heard something off to my right here. And a youngster come over here and sit right down at the top of the bank. He's sitting over there watching me. Check this out. I can't see in my viewfinder here. The sun's in my back. He's right over there. Right beside a tree. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. He's just sitting there. I can't see him in here. Hopefully I'm getting him in here between his limbs right over here. Right here. but he's across the river. He's just sitting over there, sitting between them big trees. See his head and shoulders? He's right up in there. I just watched him walk over and sit down. Big vine or something obstructed in front of him. Turned his back towards me. He's getting ready to get up and run. Hold on, let me sit back down here. Now he's turned back around. Now he's got his back turned towards me now. Now he's moved over closer to that tree. I'll turn this on if I can get him to come in a little closer.
That ain't no stump or anything. And then you did follow-up video too to prove it, because it ain't sitting there.
What I was getting ready to say, I did a follow-up video between the same two trees, because when I can get out of my, went and got my truck and did the U-turn. Put it this way, I know this area here like the back of my hand. I've fished it, I've camped it, I've gold prospected it since 2011. That's an awful long time, when you're in one span stretch of from one road to the next that's 2.5 miles long. We have a lease on.
Yeah, that 10 years in that one little area, you probably know about like the back of your hand at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah. The club will call me up and say, they do this every year just about. They're having Miller bring down the Porta Johns down there. I almost said it wrong, the Porta Crappers, but the Porta Johns. But do you know where they go? I was like, yes, I know where they go. I'm there every year showing them where they go.
So are you guys trying to hint you need me to go down there and show them where they go again?
Yeah, exactly. So
That's hilarious. So
And
how long was that little booger sitting over there watching you then? Because I know
probably
you kept fishing for quite a while, and he was still sitting there watching you.
probably about 45 minutes because I actually quit filming and I quit filming, and then I had two lures set up on my my light duty rod. You know, I threw it out there, threw it right over into a tree limb across the river.
Oh
Lost
God!
my lures on that. I said, I'm done. I'm done. So I reeled in the catfish pole, and I had my back turned towards him. I was loading everything up, back up in my tackle box, folded my chair up. As soon as my back was turned and turned back around, he was gone. I even ducked, looked, see where I was sitting at, actually squatted down to where I was sitting in my chair, say, okay, this wasn't that and that wasn't this, to debunk myself of what I thought I had seen. No, it was gone. The creature was gone. He was totally gone. So I just visually marked the trees, you know, and said, well, when I pull around there, I'll do another video right there where I could stand a little closer to the river edge. It's not because the landowner's got a bunch of big pieces of concrete in there to keep the river from eroding away. And I said, I'll just draw it up and do a comparison video, let everybody, and it's not there. But somebody on comments on that video said, he's still there. He's just hunkered down and his head was moving when I did the comparison video. But I can't see that. I can't see it on my phone, you know. And I couldn't see it with my naked eye if he was there. But if somebody could pull it up, you know. But
Draw this back. Remember this limb right here, guys? Okay. Just the other side of this tree right here. Oh, I screwed up my focus there. Over there in that group of trees in that opening's where the youngster was sitting. As you can see, there's nothing there now. Not a thing. I'll show you the same exact spot where I was sitting. Because here's the marks from my chair where I was sitting at. There's a mark right there where my chair was sitting. One right there. And I was filming straight up from the chair right up through that stuff right there. And that's where he was. He was right there. You can go back to the video and check it out. I have, but I'm just doing a comparison again, guys. I'll draw this way up so you can see that there is nothing there. Nada. All right, everybody, squatch on.
You know, some people can watch this stuff on a big screen, so they can spot stuff we can't
Yeah.
see.
yeah, my buddy that he moved to South Carolina. He had a big screen TV, and we used to go in and watch and analyze my videos and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Did you see that?" And there was stuff on there I had never seen. And I'm going, you know, I'm in shock too. And he's going, there was something that just stepped across that creek there. It was bipedal. And he could draw it up because he had, you know, he had it linked to his computer.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, you know, and it was stuff that people hadn't even caught on to or anything.
The best example I saw of that was summer 2019 when Caveman and Kevin Lang were both here. And Kevin wanted to show Caveman a video he had got down there in Missouri where they were walking along. And it was in the fall. There wasn't any leaves on the trees or anything. And there was this tall dead grass, and there was one of them hunkered down in there. And he pokes his head up and looks at him and then ducks back down again. So he knew exactly which video and where the timestamp was and everything. So I pull up the video, and I got it wound to about like 20 seconds before he comes up, and I start playing it, and Caveman goes, "Oh, there's one right there." And we're like, "What?" We rewind and look, and sure enough, about 20 seconds before the one Kevin wanted to show him, there's this fallen tree, and this little head pops up over it and looks, and then goes back down again. And on hundreds of times we had watched this piece of video, and Kevin had watched it over and over, and all of his viewers had watched it over and over. Nobody ever caught that. Caveman sees it. Hey, there's one right there. Like, what? So yeah, the more eyes you got on this stuff, the better chance you're going to find stuff, because nobody notices every damn thing. It helps to have more people taking a look at it.
Yeah, it does, the right people. But
Yeah.
anyhow, I try not to let my eyes, my eyes are actually starting to get really bad. I need to go get them checked out. But as far as visually looking to the ground and being able to get out and track, like I still can. Thank God I've still got that ability that I can do that. I haven't shot a rifle or anything for years. I'd probably be a bad shot now, because my eyes are just shot. Over the welding and like the old saying says, little girl tells her mommy, says, "Why we gotta wear a mask?" And mommy says, "You don't have to, because bullshit comes through our ears."
Yeah, there's some people that have a lot of that coming out of their mouth, and they should be wearing a mask, and not the kind that everybody's wearing for COVID either. But so, how big do you think that subject on the other side of the river was? You've been over there enough, and you had a pretty good idea on how far away and what the scale was. How tall do you think that juvie was?
Well, I figured it was a man at first. I thought maybe it was one of the other landowners.
So pretty much human size.
Yeah, just regular human size. So to me, that's a juvenile to me in my book.
So what gave it away to you is he's all in black. Everything is black. His head is black. His body's black. His legs are black. His arms are black. It's all black.
Yeah, to me it was right around 6 foot, probably. There wasn't a scale stick over there where I could look with a pair. There you go. Yep. Yeah, he's right at 6'4". No, I don't know.
But as close as you can guesstimate for being there and knowing what distances are like and what the scale is like, probably around human size.
Yeah.
You figure this, how much you want to bet this is one of the ones that's hanging around there that you were following the track around not very long ago and filming all the tracks, and now he's like, "Oh, there's a curious guy that likes to film our tracks. I'm gonna go watch him fish." Somebody in comments said that they thought he was waiting to see if you were going to catch anything and give him one.
Yeah. That's the problem. He was across the river laughing at me.
Well, at least you were entertaining him. If he didn't get a fish out of the deal, at least he got to watch how humans attempt to catch fish, and sometimes it don't work out.
I did catch a nice smallmouth bass when I was down there Saturday, when I found the first footprints. But like I said, Bug was getting annoying to me. Had found a dead coon. Where he got it from, he's out there. He's tied up to the back of my truck on a long tether. And I'm like, where in the hell did you get that from? I didn't even see it, smell it, or anything when I walked back to the river.
It's almost like somebody threw a dead raccoon near him so he could roll in it and get stinky.
Yeah. That could have been possible too. I was like,
well, I heard that one report where the guys were camping and there was something stinking near the camp, and they're like, "Oh God, we camped near some dead animal. Let's go get that stinking thing away from camp." And they went out in the woods where they could smell the stink coming from, and they couldn't find it. They went back to camp again. Well, next thing you know, they can smell the stink again, but this time it's coming from the other side of camp. Well, they went through this routine like 3 or 4 times, and then they started really thinking about it, going, you know what? Dead, rotting animals ain't moving around the camp. That's not a dead rotting animal, and I'm not going to go out there and look again.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So what was it like having him sitting there watching you for that 45 minutes? That must have been kind of a little different.
To him, it was probably entertaining.
And to you, it was just frustrating.
Yeah.
Hey, catch a fish, and I ain't got a good camera.
Snagged up, and I'm jerking on the line up in the tree going, oh yeah, there goes my lures right down into the water. Okay. As you're reeling in your line, it's just dangling at the end of your pole going, I think it's time to go now. As he's over there going, ah, yeah, oh, yeah. We need to teach him how to fish. Well, our way.
Here's how Dad fishes. He wades down in the river and slaps one up onto the bank, and then I grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you got hands the size of a freaking bucket, you can get away with that shit. Humans are too small. It doesn't work that well for us. Well, is there anything else you wanted to mention before we get it going here?
No. Only thing I'm, me and you's trying to get some stuff set up, on Rumble there too, and more options, other places, platforms to go to and stuff. So we're working on that, and you've already got your channel set up. And,
yeah, I'm all over the place. In case any of you out there don't know it, I'm not only on YouTube. I'm on BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, and Bright Eon. And what Jerry's referring to is he's having even more problems with YouTube than I am. And most of his content is not on YouTube at present. So I'm going to start putting it up on one of my channels. It'll either be on BitChute or on Rumble, and it'll be on a Jerry Cline playlist. And I'll be putting